Yeah. Here we go, I'm TJ Quake, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing. Gonna bang 'em up, gonna shoot 'em up, right here on gaming string. Bang, bang, blaze it on up, TJ Quake, we're busting like the 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Let's get into this, y'all. Yeah. TJ Quake, the ghetto gaming show.
Goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of those TJ Quake. I am yo TJ Quake, the gamer. And we're back here again for, guess what, you guys? That's right. It's gotta be marathon. Yes! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am TJ Quake, your ghetto gamer, and your host of this streaming beautiful day we call gaming. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been hearing it. I know you guys all got it just full of ears of marathon, but you got to admit, this game is looking like it's making a comeback after that last freaking display they put out about, a few months back, when they was going to release the sucker back in September and shiz, and it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready, no. People weren't ready for it. But oh my gosh, they looks like they ready for it now. Because this game is like drawing people to it like a daggone magnet. I had to play that music part because that musical part, man, that shit's off the chain. If anything gets me into a game sometimes, it's the actual musical soundtrack, the score, the music behind the game, like Final Fantasy VII brought me in with its theme music. Oh, the theme of music for Final Fantasy VII just set everything up. And this is setting up this game. The way the music is in this game, it's kind of like an organic sci-fi kind of almost kind of horror movie like-ish, but not really. It's it's something of its own core, like how Tron Daft Punk was to Tron Legacy. But this music it's set up perfectly and set in line with the way this game is, the look of the game, the feel of the game, and the music sets the tone. Literally. So we're going to get into a little bit of that today. We're going to hear a little bit of some of the music. I want you guys to hear some of the stuff from this guy, the music director, the guy that was coming up with all these stuff for the music for the game. And then we're going to get into, of course, the classes of the game. I want to check that out with you guys. We're going to watch together one of other people who out there has got a channel out there. I think is it Vidmaster? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm getting the name wrong. It's because that's the guy that's one of the guys that's playing the game. But this cat here has got this little full breakdown on all the classes and what they are, so you guys will know exactly what to get yourselves into when you get the game. What class is going to be best for you? For you. I already think I have an idea, but it's kind of confusing because there's like, what was there, 5 or 6 of them or something like that? And all these classes, dude, you got the Rook, you got the daggum, what is that? The Destroyer? Oh, the Destroyer with his launching missiles. I mean, the Recon's gonna be the shiz, dude. I mean, all these classes are going to be, they all, in my personal opinion, they all are going to play a big part for your team. And it's just a matter of who uses these classes to the best for their team, because they all are going to coincide really well with, you get a good team of these 3 cats on each team. It's going to be like, you know, how do you utilize your skills to the best to complete your mission and to help your team out, get to that extraction point and get the hee-haw out with all the goodies. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. And this is another thing, people, just so you guys know. Marathon, for all you haters out there that are hating on Marathon, we know why you're hating on it, because you guys don't like losing anything. You guys don't like taking risks. Nobody wants to take risks anymore. Gamble a little bit, take a chance, because they're afraid they're going to lose something. Oh, we want PvE. Man, frickin' PvE. Go play a daggum single player game then. There's plenty of them out there. I'm playing one right now called Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, yeah, you guys. So what I'm basically going to be doing right now, what's going to happen with this channel right now is we're going to be doing a lot of Marathon. I think, you know, we're definitely going to be checking it out on day 1 for the server slam, the Marathon slam. That's when everybody gets to play the game for free for the first 2-3 days or something like that before the game comes out. So we're going to get to check that out, get your hands dirty, and get into the mix of what this game's like. And it's going to either be for you or not for you and everything. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a game that I'm going to be definitely checking out. Me and M-Bomb are going to get in there. We're going to play this game together. We're going to be a dual team. So anybody that wants to play with us, please hit us up, you know, on the channel. You guys can, you know, comment down below. Yeah, TJ Quick, we want to get in the mix with y'all when y'all jump in. Okay, cool, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. So, but yeah, we're definitely, me and M-Bomb are definitely gonna be checking in this game out. Definitely on the you know, the free playable day that comes out, so we can kind of get an idea of how to play the game, because I played extraction shooters, but not very many. I mean, the only one that I can really say that has probably my biggest somewhat of an extraction shooter was Division 1 and 2. And everything. And Division was more of a co-op game, more so than it was, you know, like PvP. There was a PvP area where you would go into this one PvP area, and it was an extraction situation where you had to get your goodies and then hurry up and get to that helicopter to get the frick out of there. Well, you had to deal with all the other knuckleheads that was in there trying to get the same goodies. So yeah, I had a little taste of it in that and everything, and I've always kind of enjoyed it. Of course, nobody likes losing their shiz. So my thing is, for you people, if you guys don't like taking risks, if you don't like losing your stuff that you gained, you got to go into this game with knowing that you're going to probably lose your shiz. You're going to die. That's going to happen in this game. So just know that and everything, because man, where's my music again? Oh my gosh. So you guys, let's get ready to get into this shiz. We're gonna get ready to jump on this bad boy, because we know the game is just like, it's gonna take you guys to a whole nother level of play. I'm TJ Quake, yo Ghetto Gamer. Let's get into this little bit. Actually, what we're gonna do right now is let's listen to a little bit of the actual composer of the game, because I find this guy to be, you know the shiz. The music, I think this is it. Should be it. We'll jump into that.
To be able to get in on the ground level,
I don't know why
the process of literally building worlds was
Here we go.
really intoxicating.
It's
and so
very
I was like,
intoxicating.
what better way to start than?
No, that's not what I want.
Unlike more traditional story-driven games, I think we were really kind of challenged with, hey, what is our kind of star in this, and how do we kind of base our audio approach or musical approach? And I think one thing we kind of landed on was we're really telling the story of Tau Ceti, the planet, you know, the history that it has. There is no central protagonist, you know, where we can kind of say, like, this is the hero's theme. Our hero is the world.
I love that feeling of like it being both neon and also like kind of crusty and falling apart at the same time. Like, to me, that has a sound. Something that was really inspiring about the concept of the game was that you relinquish your human body for a runner shell. You hold on to your soul. You take you with you, but you leave your body behind. I thought, what better way than to like take the human voice, which is like the soul of your person, and transform it. And
You guys, you hear all the little intricate sound effects in this, and the sounds that are coming, and what he's doing here. The guy is this guy right here, and he shows you all these little sounds, how he creates these little musical sounds and stuff for the game, and so forth. So it's definitely bringing you. He wants to bring you into the world through musical tones and frequencies and melodic sounds. That's going to bring you further into the game, like a daggum movie, like you're watching Indiana Jones or Star Wars or something like that. That's what we're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen. Continue, my friend.
to these playable instruments. These like these little recitations. It's almost like they're a code, like some sort of transmission, you know? It's like what's left over. It's like what's left over from this colony that's disappeared. I was inspired by these natural environments full of like bugs that are half mechanical and have escaped from the lab, or like, you know.
Dude, all I gotta say is, do you hear how he came up with these little sound effects? How the sounds are, you know, that young, it's like some creepy ass kind of stuff, almost, like Omen style type music, but more sci-fi and whatnot, and it's integrated into this world that's like fresh and new, full of this weird robotic-ish kind of colorful world. And it's dude, the game is just, it's going to have some craziness to it. Well, listen a little bit more of what he's got to say on the music front, but then we got to get into the characters, so you guys can know what character you guys want to play. Go on, brother.
Things that create kind of creaks and whispers. You know, you can hear. One of the things that I did early on was this piano that's behind me is prepared with all kinds of crazy stuff stuffed inside of it. The primary way that I modify the piano is just with poster tack, like poster putty. And depending on where you put it on the instrument, you can get different colors.
That's crazy, dude.
More muted.
The boy
Sounds
just comes
crazy.
up with his own. This is how you come up with a soundtrack.
Starting from an instrument that's totally acoustic, lots of mechanical distortion, human performance, microphones, and it proved to be an essential resource. That instrument felt like a really fun place to start when designing a very high-tech score, you know. This I use a lot in a section of the score for the game. You can hear that sort of fluttering instrument. One of my most valuable tools was actually this instrument here. It's called an Osmos, and it's an MPE controller. So basically,
Dude, I love
it
sounds, you
enables
guys.
to do
This is
a
intriguing to me.
huge number of expressive things with your fingers that even a piano like you can't do. This is so responsive to touch, to motion, that you can present musical ideas that are not really accessible any other way. I'm just like looking for the emotion in every little thing. And I think ultimately that's what it is. You know, it's like I'm painting with feelings.
You guys, is that the shiz or what? Dude, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. That is off the chain right there. Marathon, you guys. Coming to you soon. Yes, it's going to be the shiz. Ah. Woo. Okay. Are you still with me over here? Wait. Where's my camera guy? What? Why is my camera guy always, he ain't never on point. Thank you. Stay on point, dog. You're gonna be fired if you don't stay on point. Okay, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. This is you. You could be lose your job. Anyways, you guys, that's Marathon, the soundtrack for you. Let's get into the other portions. That's the part that you guys would love to know more about. Your classes. How are the classes going to be in this game? Oh, the chassis, the classes are the shells that your spirit, your mind, soul goes into. Yes, because this game has got a weird thing going on where these colonies are all on this ship, and their consciousness of their bodies, because I guess the planet they came from, Earth, is jacked up. So they're trying to look for another new place to live on. And this new place to live on, they were starting to get things cracking until some craziness went down. And now all these crazy lunatic corporations are hiring you to extract all kinds of goodies for their organization so that they can rule and power. And you're going to choose one of these guys that you're going to be a part of, one of these corporations. And they're going to give great awards and all this other cool stuff that you can get to do. But you're going to have to get down there and get into a class chassis, a shell, so that you can, deal with the environment, because the environment is pretty harsh. That's another thing in this game, you guys. The environment is harsh. There's going to be acid rain that can burn your shiz up. I mean, weather effects that just can jack you up, and it's not going to be good to be outside when this stuff happens. So you guys are going to have to check that out and be sure not only are the dangers of that and creatures and other freaking villains, but the players is going to be the main part that's going to be your horrible nightmare. And I'll be glad to take them all out. Don't trust anybody in this game, you guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't trust anybody. So let's get into those chassis real quick, or those classes of chassis, whatever. Here we go.
Most people are going to pick the wrong class in Marathon, and not because Bungie made bad classes, but because each runner shell is designed to punish the wrong type of player. So in this video, I'm going to break down every runner shell Bungie has revealed, how each one actually works, the type of player that thrives with it, and just as important, why certain shells quietly ruin people's runs. And near the end, I'm going to give you a couple of bonus pieces that I think you'll actually like a lot. Let's start by understanding how classes actually function in Marathon, because this is where most people already get it wrong. In Marathon, traditional classes are really non-existent. There's no tank, no healer, no DPS triangle. Instead, Bungie is using something called runner shells. Each shell is a biosynthetic body, meaning it's really not yours, and it comes with the following. One prime ability, you can think of this as your ultimate level impact. One tactical ability, your main combat button, and then 2 traits, which are passive or situational bonuses. The important part here is that your shell, well, it's just really the foundation. Power in Marathon comes from build crafting, and you'll do this through things called cores and implants. Now that's going to be key too, you guys. The build crafting is also another thing, a part of this game that's going to be kind of its own unique thing in an extraction type shooter, because this is kind of some things that are kind of in a way taken from Destiny and everything, where you can build craft your weapons, your armor, and all that stuff, so you can get all these different parts. He'll explain that, of course, in better detail than I can. Go on, my brother. Are shell-specific modifiers, and implants are shared across all runner shells. That's why you're going to find that 2 players running the same shell can really feel completely different in Marathon. Keep this in mind, especially when I talk about the movement and loot-focused classes a little bit later. Now, let's break down every shell. First up, let's talk about the Destroyer. This is really for players who want to start fights.
Yes, the Destroyer!
It's honestly the most straightforward shell in Marathon, and that's kind of, I think, why people are going to mess it up. Let's take a look at the confirmed abilities for the Destroyer runner shell. Your prime ability is called Search and Destroy. It has homing shoulder missiles that target enemies you've dealt sustained damage to. Your tactical ability is called Riot Barricade. This is a forward-facing energy shield used to block damage and take space, and I think it's one of the coolest ones in the game. And then your traits for Destroyer are going to be Thruster Dash and Tactical Sprint. Mobility tools that really trade speed for heat generation, which we'll talk about heat generation. That's really your stamina management. The Destroyer is really best when you leverage it to be aggressive and use it across dangerous space. When you're running the shell, you're going to want to be the one that walks through sight lines so that your team doesn't really have to, and thanks to your Riot Barricade, your Thruster Dash, and your Tactical Sprint, that becomes easier. I do think people are going to struggle with Destroyer, because if they try to play it as a solo hero, that's not going to work. To run this class, you really need discipline, not ego. Your goal with this runner...
That's where I kind of disagree with him on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Destroyer is the guy that's got the freaking armor. He's built like a tank. He's your tank. So if anybody could solo in this game, it would definitely be him. Now, don't get me wrong. There's other characters in here that I feel would probably be even better for soloing because they have abilities that can kind of see where the enemy's at. But this guy right here, he's a tank. So he's going to be to hold his own and protect himself while going up against multiple cats. So put that in mind too. It's just you got to know how to use your character like in any game. Once you know how to use your shiz and you master that shiz, it's going to be hard to take you down, especially if you're flipping with freaking rocket launchers on your damn shoulder and a riot shield that can block everything. Yeah. Let's not forget that, buddy.
Shell is to use your riot barricade to cross. You want to shield teammates who are trying to revive each other. Use your agility to really get additional angles. Your prime ability, search and destroy, in my opinion, is perfect to put additional pressure on enemies that are looking to rush you. Your best synergies when you're running this destroyer are going to be with triage, who will keep your push alive, and recon, who will help you really understand when to push safely. This is a strong class to run, but it's not forgiving. You need to play smart or you're going to really find yourself costing your team, your lives, and your loot. The assassin class in Marathon is one that people are really going to feel like it's meant for them, but it's really not. This is the class that's for players who win by outsmarting and not for players that panic or are hyper aggressive. Let's take a look at the confirmed abilities for the assassin.
That's me, you guys. If another kind of class that I would probably get into would be the assassin, because I am that guy that likes to outsmart you, strategically get around you. I'm a flanker. That's me. I'm the guy that says, okay, he thinks I'm going that way, but I'm actually going this way. And I come over here and I freaking trick you and come up behind your ass and you're done, son. Yeah, that's me. And so, yeah, this character here.
Shell, and you might kind of get the picture I'm painting. Your prime ability as the assassin is called Smoke Screen. It is a deployable smoke that blocks vision and disrupts the optics of the opposing team. Your tactical is called Active Camo. It's basically temporary invisibility that breaks when you perform an action like shoot a gun, heal, etc. And your traits are going to be Shadow Dive and Shroud. You can think of this as smoke deployment on impact and invisibility when in smoke. These are unbelievably good. And where the Assassin Shell excels is in taking information away from other players. It's really going to allow you to control when a fight happens and when it ends. If you panic shoot, this class is going to collapse almost instantly. It's built around being patient and punishing impatience from enemies more than any other shell in the game. And when you're running the Assassin Shell, your goal is to smoke first, reposition with your invisibility, and take a guaranteed shot and then disappear before the trade so that you can reposition.
That's me.
And your team can kind of fill in some of those shots from there.
That's me all the way.
A smart assassin player will focus on confusing the opposing team, generating panic for them, but also being incredibly patient enough to pick off the straggler in a group as they wait in the shadows. The best synergies in running as the assassin, in my opinion, will be recon, as they're going to feed you plenty of intel about where people are, and thief, which will capitalize on the chaos. To really be a great assassin in Marathon, you're going to need to love psychological pressure more than just getting into gunfights for the sake of getting into gunfights. If you play this right, this class is incredibly lethal, but it's not going to be for everybody. If you're digging this video so far, consider subscribing. Look, I'm working my way towards it.
And I figured too that this assassin is also a patience class, a class that you got to be patient with. You got to be waiting. You're a predator. And so you're preying on things, setting it up, being prepared to. Yeah. So he's very sneaky, and that's how you got to play him. If you don't play him sneaky, like Assassin's Creed, like an Assassin's Creed type kill and everything, because that's literally how you have to play him. You got to play him like Assassin's Creed and everything. You got to be sneaking up on mother flips. And everything. And the gunfight, you throw out that smoke, get around that motherfucker, and they don't know where you are. And then before they know it, you're right behind them. Hello, goodbye. That kind of situation. So he's very correct in that essence there. With the way you got to play him. You're playing smart, he's lethal. You play him like, oh, I'm just going out there and gunfight. You're going to get your AB destroyed. Trust me. Go on.
1,000 subs in this channel, and hey, it's free to sub, and if you don't sub, then you might just get thirsted immediately in Marathon the first time you play. You've already heard me reference the recon class a few times, and that's because it's incredibly important. It may not win you fights just outright, but it will absolutely decide them. And what I mean by that,
I'm telling you right now, this might be my class that I play, recon.
In-game leads, and players that are comfortable calling the shots based on the information they gather. The more you know before and during a fight, the more likely you're going to be to succeed in Marathon, and really any shooter for that right. Let's look at the confirmed abilities for Recon. Your prime ability is called Echo Pulse. It has sonar pings revealing players, AI, and invisible targets. Your tactical is a tracker drone, a mobile drone that hunts and applies overheat pressure. Again, overheat pressure is going to be critical because that is your stamina in the game, so you can take away a lot of the stamina from people. And then for your traits, you have Awareness and Stalker Protocol. This is going to alert you when you're pinged and leaves trails of red footprints after shield breaks on players, which again is a fantastic thing to have. Recon's biggest strength is really giving your team permission to make a smart push. Being able to know what you're dealing with before you head into a fight allows you to dramatically increase your chances of survival. But getting information for the sake of getting it won't really help you. If you don't act upon the information or leverage being an IGL with the Recon class, it's basically useless. If you're going to run as Recon, you want to make sure that you pulse before rotations. You want to leverage your drone to force movement and really push immediately after shield breaks. The best synergies for this class will be the Destroyer, allowing for clean entries and crowd control, along with the Assassin for precision ambushes and creating chaos with the smoke, while you have all the intel to figure out where these...
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I think a Recon and a Destroyer are going to be like, if you just say like there's just, you know, the two of you or something like that, everything, a Recon and a Destroyer together, I think would be a great synergy setup and everything, because the Recon, like he said, is going to be able to throw out impulses to make everybody to be able to see where everybody's at. The Destroyer is going to know where those guys are, and he's going to be able to push through with brute strength while you doing your little maneuvers on the side, maybe throw out your little spider drone to jack him up over here while the freaking Destroyer goes in and finishes his ass off. It's that kind of thing. And then of course with your third player, that could be like a thief or a freaking, an assassin, or better yet, a triage, which he's going to get into next. Those are your medical healer dudes. Yeah, I think maybe a Recon, Destroyer, and triage. Go on, my brother. Keep it talking.
People are. The most simple way to put it is that Recon is the thinking player's shell, but it's also going to rely on you to communicate to truly dominate within a marathon. If you aren't talking, you aren't winning with this class. Marathon is not a movement shooter, but movement is still going to be important in the game. The players who love chaos and performing a high amount of actions are going to love the Vandal Runner Shell. And if you're somebody who has a knack for using movement to disorient your enemies, you really may have found your favorite class here. It's a rundown on the abilities here will feel right at home for a lot of you guys. The prime ability is called Amplify. It boosts your movement speed, your handling, and your heat efficiency. Your tactical ability is called Disruptor, which has a chargeable energy blast with knockback capabilities. You can actually use this to jump as well, but you can also just throw enemies around too with it. And for your traits, you're going to have micro
right there
and power slide. Think of this as double jumps and extended slides at the cost of heat. I think what's really interesting with the Vandal class is that Bungie has mentioned that there are mobility-focused cores for Vandal, including jump enhancements and movement chaining. Finding these really feels essential to maximizing how strong this class really can be. The biggest struggle that players are going to have with this class, however, is mismanaging your heat. If you aren't really watching your heat or leveraging your prime ability intelligently, I think you run the risk of having your movement go from being a...
And just for some of you guys that don't know what he means by heat and everything, for any of you new players that are coming in, the people that are coming into Marathon, heat is your stamina. It's basically what if you run out of breath and everything, you start to slow down. Well, that's what the heat is for these shells and everything. It's your stamina. And once that goes down, then you ain't got that stamina to utilize your abilities. So what he's saying for this particular, shell is that he runs all off of his heat. His heat is what allows him to do his skids, his double jumps, all that propelling stuff that he does and so forth. He's going to need that heat. And that's for everybody in the game. For all the different shells through their different abilities, they're going to need to use the heat in order to do that, which is why I like Recon. Throw that little spider out, knock out people's heat, and now you ain't going to be able to do squat. Keep it moving.
Disruptor to being a sitting duck. Players running as Vandal are going to want to use their movement to disrupt positioning, use Amplify to force enemy players to kind of chase and separate a little bit, and then leverage your Disruptor blast to really force players into a panic. The best synergies for this class, in my opinion, are going to be Destroyer. You've heard Destroyer a lot. I think it's a very strong class. But I think it'll anchor fights when you focus on positioning. And Thief, when you combine it with Vandal's movement, I just think that is chaos that is just going to be very tough to deal with. And speaking of Thief, let's dive into why this is quietly one of the strongest runner shells in Marathon. Thief is really a runner shell that's focused around maximizing your looting more than dominating gunfights. It's a great class for players that like to plan routes and focus on the economy of the loot in the game. And the abilities really scream to that. Your prime ability is called a pickpocket drone. You can deploy a remote-controlled origami butterfly drone that can use a mechanical whip to knock out loot of players and AI that it hits, and then collect the items that they drop.
Dude, is that the shiz? You can just throw this drone around and can seek out. I saw it. If you guys see that, any of you guys seen the new gameplay video that they got, oh my gosh, that new gameplay video. They show it's of the thief, and the thief, dude, this fool's running around with this drone, and he's just going around and he's knocking people's shiz out of their hand, all their freaking gear, and it's snagging it for you to take without you even having to be there. And the drone can, I think the drone can shock you or do something to you. It's crazy. Got this little whip and clink. You know, I'm like, what? Yeah, the thief's got some stuff. On top of the fact he's got this visor that comes down where anything in front of his visual frontal view, he can see through walls and all this other stuff, and he can see what's all in there. So he can see where all the goodies are. And if you're in there, if the enemy's in there, he gonna see you too. So the thief's gonna be something, dude.
Interesting though, it has a double purpose. You can actually use it also for recon, flying it around, pinging enemies for your squad to see. The tactical is a grapple, so it shoots a dart from your forearm that unfolds into a propeller that pulls you along, allowing you to swing to a new spot. So unlike a traditional grapple that has to be attached to something, this will unfold again its own propeller, so you can just shoot it into the sky and then use it to launch yourself somewhere from basically anywhere. And for your traits, you have
it's like
X-ray
Spider-Man
visor and backpack scaling bonus. So you can flip down your visor to see containers through walls, along with the rarity of the loot, which is a huge one, and you can highlight enemies that are just in your line of sight. This has been a little bit controversial, but I think it's important to mention again that this is highlighting enemies that are solely in your line of sight. Also, your base grapple recharge rate, your base weapon handling, and stats are going to increase as you fill your backpack with more items. So if you are a loot goblin and you like to have a whole lot of loot, those things are increasing along with that, which I think is a very cool addition. And while the abilities obviously matter, again, it's the cores for each runner shell that really take things to a different level. Here's a breakdown of some of the Thief's cores that are confirmed to actually be in the game. Greed is good is an enhanced core. When your backpack is completely full, your sprint speed and slide distance are increased. Hit and Run is a deluxe core. Striking a target with a melee or knife attack immediately after grappling hacks them and knocks random loot items from their backpack. Case the Joint is a superior one. Your X-ray visor has increased vision range. Partner in Crime is a prestige level. While not being piloted, your pickpocket drone periodically releases a pulse that pings nearby hostiles. There's a second grapple one. You can gain a second charge of your grapple device, and then there's a drone ping that causes your pickpocket drone to periodically ping nearby enemies while it's not being piloted. I think you can quickly see how this class is a looter's dream, but it also has a mini UAV of sorts that you're able to use, assuming
you can pickpocket without your drone even going out? What the hell? Man, the thief's got all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a harsh one, and just to let you guys know, the thief's not gonna be playable in the play test or the play slam that's coming up here next week. So yeah, you guys gonna have to wait to buy the game to be able to play the thief. But I guess that's their new golden child, and they want you to buy it before you get to try it. You can't have everything, everybody. You can't have everything. Move on.
Can acquire and keep the right cores here. The important part about Thief is not allowing yourself to become stationary by playing with the drone for too long. Ensuring your squad really has your back, or you only spend a short amount of time using the drone, or you run the risk of getting attacked. If you focus on scanning routes, looting efficiently using your abilities, drone only when it's safe, and grapple out early versus overstaying your welcome, this can be a nasty one. The best synergies for Thief will be Vandal, thanks to their ability to create distractions and really leverage movement, and Assassin to help ensure there's clean exits and to keep your enemy's vision at really a low level. In any class-based shooter, the meta class really feels like it can turn any fight into an unwinnable one for enemies. The Triage Runner Shell is all about sustaining and recovering and has some of the most underrated abilities in Marathon. If we take a look at
I agree, because the Triage is the only one. He's a medical class, but don't get it twisted, you guys. Don't get it twisted. No, this motherfucker right here, he's got EPM blasts. Yeah. That EPM shiz will knock your out of the, yeah, he can put your behind on your behind, if you know what I mean, and so forth. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Go on, brother.
Here, the prime ability is Capacitive Gauntlets. They activate an overcharge to send out tendrils, shocking down enemies back to life, and they can also damage enemies. Your tactical is a medic drone. You can send out a drone buddy equipped with a smiley face that hovers over you and your allies' shoulders, providing you with health and shields. Your traits are going to be Battery Overcharge and Shareware. Overcharge your gauntlets by making your weapons perform better. Battery weapons specifically EMP targets when you break enemy shields, which is a great addition. And any allies with medic drones following them get any consumables or heals that you use copied to them too, essentially turning them or healing them from a distance. I think that is one of the coolest abilities in the game, and it's sort of a passive one that you get. You can
it is
massive boost to your team
Jeez.
simply by having that set up properly. Bungie has also revealed a handful of cores for triage, so let's dive into the 4 that they've revealed so far. There's High Voltage, which is enhanced. Defeating hostiles affected by EMP reduces the—
And just so you guys know what these cores are, these are things that are going to be able to enhance your characters and everything. So what he's talking to you about is the different cores that you can get to place into your legs, your body, or your head, your arms, or whatever, and everything, and it'll enhance certain abilities that you already have and bring them to the next level. Oh yeah, it's good. There's some stuff, you guys. Go on.
cooldown of your next battery overcharge. Electron Recapture Sinks is deluxe. While your battery overcharge is active, defeating a hostile or downing a runner with a Volt weapon instantly restores a portion of the weapon's charge. No Good Deed is superior. You receive a burst of healing when your Medrone attaches to a crew member. And there's Samaritan, which is a prestige rating. Sharing a consumable with your shareware.exe reduces the cooldown of your next Medrone.
So basically, what you're getting here is you're getting the guy that can just keep himself and his whole team alive the majority of the time. If you got this triage, I think he's going to be highly recommended to have in your group. Highly recommended to have a triage medical guy like this who's going to be able to just keep you guys on your feet and res guys that are down, because there's going to be plenty of times when you're down and you're going to want to get back up and it's like, somebody help me, please. Don't worry, I'm triage. I'm your hero. I'll rescue you with my bolt lightning strikes. EPM guidance, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, he's going to definitely be somebody you're gonna definitely want in the mix and whatnot. Because I know me. I know how I am. I'm going to be that guy who's going to want. Who's going to want definitely have a triage probably in his team, and that guy that can constantly. It's kind of like playing Marvel Rivals, you guys. What do we always talk about in Marvel Rivals? Come on, where's the healers? We need a healer. Come on, healer. What? You got your own personal healer and your 3 squad group here. You can't go wrong. So he's highly recommended if you guys are going to be doing, team based some with your squad. There's only 3 of you. I would recommend putting a triage guy in your group. Definitely. Okay, let's get back to the lesson at hand, shall we? Go on, my brother. I said go on, my brother. Oh, dang, hold up. Gotta put the sound back.
The Lone Wolf is going to hurt your squad and do way more damage than you want it to do. If you focus on maintaining your drone uptime, keeping revives coming to keep the pressure on the enemy team, and force enemies into bad pushes by staying in close proximity of your teammates, I think you'll do well here. Your best runner synergies are going to be with Destroyer, as they'll be able to push forward while you keep the heals coming, and Recon, as they'll be able to give you all the intel you need to know how safe or in danger your teammates are. Triage really is a runner that lets you turn your teammates' mistakes into quick recoveries. Just when an enemy team thinks they have the upper hand, I really think that Triage can flip the scenario on its head. And the last runner shell we'll get into is Rook. When you play as any other runner that I've discussed so far, you will start the raid at the very beginning. But with Rook, however, you are going to join matches that are already in progress only. Playing as Rook, you can only enter a raid solo, and you cannot bring a loadout in with you either. Effectively, there's no real risk when you're running as Rook. It's a way to hop into a match risk-free to allow yourself to learn, try out things, or maybe just get back some of the loot that you probably lost in a recent raid. While there's not a lot that you're going to have as Rook, you do have a tactical ability, however, known as Blend. What this does is it activates a mask to blend in with UESC forces, which are the AI that you're ultimately fighting, making the AI think that you're one of them and not a hostile. Inherently, this is going to be a pretty ratty class, but it always starts the raid at a disadvantage since it has a starter kit, so there's your trade-off. I've already seen players say that they'll let rooks live and refuse to shoot them, while other players are saying that it's on sight. Which way are you going to go? With all the runner shells defined, I just want to sum things up here. I've listed common play styles and the runner shell that I think suits that play style the best. Aggressive players want to go after Destroyer. If you're a stealth player, you should go after Assassin. If you're about intel and being an in-game lead, Recon is your class. If you're a movement fiend, I think Vandal is the route for you. A loot goblin should definitely go with Thief. Team play oriented players, I think Triage will suit you well. If you are a ratty player, I think Rook is your jam.
You guys, now look at that. Look at these things up here, because this is very right here. What you're looking at here is very important. This is what you got to do when you come into this game, knowing what you're going to be like. Are you a guy that's aggressive? You're an aggressive motherfucker. You got to be in the mix. I got to be duking it out with motherfuckers. I'm that guy. The Destroyer is where you got to go, like he said. If you're a stealthy guy, a guy that can be very sneaky and wants to lay back behind corners and shadows and so forth, and then take a nigga out while he's coming around, then Assassin's the way you want to go. Intelligence, intel guy that wants to see where the people are, where they're at. Hey, we got people on that side. We got some people on that side. I got it all set up and ready to rock and roll. Y'all need to go out this way. You take that way. I'll take this way, and we'll cut them off. We'll cut them off at the path. That intel guy is the recon. That's what you're going to be, a recon. You're the guy that's got all the information, the guy that can gather all the information. And that's very important in games like this, especially games like this, when you don't know what the heck is inside these buildings before you get in them. You're going to need this guy to say, hey, you guys, ooh, there's at least 3 or 4 dudes on that side over there. Before we go in, let's take this route. You know what I'm saying? So that's the guy. That's kind of where I'm leaning. It's kind of like Recon. I'm kind of between Recon and Destroyer. I like the Thief too. Because, again, if you're a movement guy, if you're a guy I got to be moving. Over here. I got to be moving, okay? Then you're the guy that's the Vandal. He's the speed demon. He's the guy that's got the little grapple thing, and he goes, ooh, and then he's got that daggone pulse blaster and everything. Then he got boom, yeah. He's got some stuff. He's Speedy Gonzalez, but he's hit and go. He's hit and go. That's him and everything. He's moving. Then you got to be the Vandal then. And if you're the loot goblin guy, the guy that wants to get all the goodies as much as possible, and that's technically what most of us all want and everything, Thief is your guy. Thief is the guy that's, he's got all these different little knick-knack little qualities that the Thief's going to get, you guys. So a lot of you guys, Thiefs are going to be a guy for you. I think Thief is a good guy to be actually solo with if you really think about it and everything, because he's just that get in, get out kind of guy with all the goodies. That's him. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we need our triage. If you're a guy that likes to heal and help others, be good to your fellow man, babe, help out the little puppy, the little stray cat, that's him, bomb. And everything. Then the triage is what you want. That's the person that's going to heal everybody. But don't get it twisted. That motherfucker packs a punch with some EPM blasts and so forth. So, yeah, you got to watch out for that. And then, of course, the Rook, the guy that comes in and gets all the leftovers. The Rook is kind of like what do they call it? Vultures? It's like a vulture. You know, the vultures come after the thing's already been killed off, and then they go off and eat the carcass and all that shit. Yeah, I know it's nasty and everything, but they go and they get the leftovers. Oh, there's some dead. Oh, we can take that. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Somebody already killed it. Oh, dang. I'll just go and take that. Doesn't look like you'll be needing it. I'll just take that. That's the Rook. He's the guy that just kind of goes around, you know, and scavenges stuff, you know. He's a scavenger. That's what he is. And so forth. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Play on, my brother. Play on.
There's also zero doubt in my mind that there are going to be multiple moments where a class has a broken meta and people just queue in with 3 of the same runner shell. Look, 90% of the time, hopefully, it'll be more advantageous to run as a team of different runners to really maximize your effectiveness. We're talking pre-launch, of course, but these are the 3 team comps that I think will help you the best to dominate and extract a marathon early on. A team of Recon, Destroyer, and Triage gives you a great combination of balance and consistency. The second comp I have is Destroyer, Vandal, and Thief. This is really for groups that love a combination of pressure and getting that profit. And then lastly, Assassin, Recon, and Thief. This is 4 squads that want to control fights and really surprise opposing teams with stealth. The beauty of Marathon, though, is that there are lots of great combos out there, but I would love to hear what you think is a great trio that you would want to run as come launch time in the comments below. Marathon is not a game about picking the strongest class. It's really a game about picking a class that covers your group's weaknesses and leans into your specific strengths while also taking into account the map you're going to be playing on. You could choose wrong and the game will feel punishing, or if you paid attention to this video, you could choose right and watch it all finally click. Look, enjoy your time in Tau Ceti. You can watch another one of my videos right now, and I'll see you on the way down.
So there you have it, you ladies and gentlemen. That's all, folks. That's kind of a compromising position. That one is there, right there. Okay, so yeah, you guys, there it is. This game right here is. This game's gonna be. It's gonna be that game, you guys. And I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it to win it. Yeah, so you guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Marathon so far? Is it going to be that game that's going to be the one that's kind of brings you in, draws you in with all these little knickknacks? And trust me, guys, what I just showed you here is just some of the knickknacks. There's been so many daggone videos, and there's so many people out there showing you guys all the goodies and stuff out there. So you guys got plenty of Marathon stuff out there, content, information from all these people. You know, Ass Cross, those guys, Cruiser, I think is his name. This cat right here, Andy, A-N-D-I. Yeah, check his channel out. Like he said, he's got a lot of content. A lot of these guys are going to be throwing out good content. And of course, I'm going to be throwing you Marathon content in the TJ Quake getaway and everything, because I like to make it comical and crazy. So forth. But yes, you'll be getting that information here as well, playing, streaming it, all that wonderful stuff. We're going to be checking out Marathon, you guys. Hope you guys join us with that flavor. I'm TJ Quake, yo, Ghetto Gamer. And also, too, what characters do you guys want to play? Is there anybody that you guys want to play? Is there anybody? And everything, because I know me personally and everything, I'm thinking it's going to be between the Recon. So far, it's between Recon, Destroyer, and possibly Thief. That's kind of where I'm at and everything. We'll find out what M-Bomb's going to go for when she, you know, gets her little taste of this bad boy. But let me know in the comments down there for any of you guys to check this out. Again, if you guys like my content, what I do here, what I bring to you, please like, subscribe to the channel. And I also stream live on Twitch, maybe, you know, a couple times out of the week and so forth. I'm trying to get it up more, but you know, just building stuff up, trying to build the channel up more, and be much appreciative if you guys come on down and just tell me what you think. And if you like, you like. If you don't, well, it is out. Okay, all right. I'm TJ Quake, your Ghetto Gamer. I'm out of this mother flip, I think.